This video is brought to you by hoodbeast.com. Design your own custom hoodies. hoodbeast.com. We are beast.
10 points, 7 assists, and 6 turnovers.
In the playoffs.
When you look at it, one of the more shocking games and results when you consider this is a 55.
Everything falls on my shoulder. I take responsibility for it. Both ends of the floor, and it's tough, especially the way we lost at home for Game 6. But it happened. Now we move forward. It's frustrating, definitely, especially the way we were resilient all year long. We've been fighting through adversity. We've been really good at bouncing back. It hurts, it stings, but like I said, we just got to figure a way to get better, and we will. But credit to the Spurs. They had a really good season. They're a really, really good team, extremely well coached, and they were a better team this series.
I don't know. I honestly don't know. Look, this was painful for me too. Not once have I ever mentioned Harden in a negative light this season. Like when it came to his turnovers, the way he draws fouls, anything. Not once have I ever held it against him as a player, trying to say, oh, he's not as good as people say he is, or that Westbrook should win MVP over him for any reason. I was Team Harden. I still am Team Harden. I am a Pistons fan, all right? I'm a Pistons fan. That will always be my favorite team. But James Harden has been one of my favorite players to watch this year, so this hurts me. But I cannot just turn a blind eye. So of course, yesterday, the Rockets got raffle stomped by Kawhi Leonardless Spurs in Game 6 and were eliminated from the playoffs. 114 to 75. 114 to, listen, 114 to 75? I don't know what that happens, but I do agree with Harden. All credit goes to San Antonio. They showed up yesterday and showed why people believe that they're the only team in the NBA who could provide some type of threat to the Warriors and the Cavs. Popovich, greatest coach in NBA history in my opinion. And the guys on that team just know how to play. Simple as that. Aldridge looked like he was back in Portland yesterday, which was great to see. So congrats to them. But there is absolutely no excuse whatsoever that can be made for James Harden. Look, you're at home facing elimination with a chance to still go to the Western Conference Finals and further improve upon your MVP caliber season. And you don't even attempt a field goal until midway through the second quarter? Look, you didn't do anything. Nothing at all, no type of effort. And after your Game 5 fourth quarter and overtime meltdown, I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I gave you the benefit of the doubt. I said that you would have a monster game in Game 6 because I knew you are a phenomenal player, and that's what phenomenal players do. Everyone has a bad game, no matter who they are. Every player has bad games, but the greatest players bounce back after that. And when it's all in the line, the best players step up and deliver. And in the most important game of your season, what do? You don't just have a bad game, no, but you have the worst game of your season. Look, how? Just how? And yes, as you can see, I am mad because this isn't the first time this has happened. 2 years ago, when you're in the Western Conference Finals against the Golden State Warriors, it was almost exactly the same thing. Game 5, you're down 3-1 in the series facing elimination. This was also a year where you were an MVP candidate and you felt you had it stolen away from you by Steph Curry, and you did. But in that game, instead of showing the world that it was you who was supposed to have been the MVP, you didn't show up and you went 2 of 11 from the field, had 5 assists, and 12 turnovers. In an elimination game, you had more turnovers than points. But I didn't get upset or anything. Why? Because I'm not gonna bash a player because he doesn't show up for one game. But for it to happen again, it's kind of disheartening. No, it's more than just disheartening. It's treason on the highest level of everyone who believed in you, with your season on the line. And when you are undoubtedly the best player on the court, especially since Kawhi Leonard is out, there is no excuse in the world, no reason you should ever have a performance like that. I don't care if you were playing sick. I don't care what kind of injuries may have been nagging you, because at this point in the season, there isn't a single player playing that doesn't have some type of nagging injury. Look, I don't know who that was out there on the court last night, but it wasn't the James Harden I have been watching all season long. No way those two players are the same. James Harden is a leader and a terrific offensive talent. The guy that was out there yesterday was just some random guy who looked like he was thinking about what he was going to do with the first day of his summer vacation. 10 points, 7 assists, and 6 turnovers. No matter how great you were during the regular season, those 50-point triple-doubles, all 24 of those triple-doubles that you had. What was it? The first player to reach 2,000 points, assists, and rebounds in a single season, I believe it was. None of that will stick about this season anymore. All anyone is going to remember is 10 points, 7 assists, and 6 turnovers against the Kawhi Leonard-less San Antonio Spurs. The great season the Houston Rockets had when no one expected them to do anything this year. They turned around and surprised everyone. And to have it end on 10 points, 7 assists, and 6 turnovers. It's a disgrace. The team looked up to you. You let them down. The fans looked up to you. You let them down. Like I said, James Harden to me is still a phenomenal player, but this is the second time when he was the leader of his own team that in an elimination game, he didn't show up. When LeBron was on the verge of elimination against Boston in Game 6 with his legacy on the line, what did he do? He took over and gave us one of the best playoff performances that we have ever seen. Look, I wouldn't have been upset if Houston lost this game and if Harden were out there trying. Then it's like, you had a great season. You gave it everything you had. Good job, pat yourself on the back and get ready for next year. But this, 10 points, 7 assists, and 6 turnovers, this was just about the most anticlimactic end to a fantastic season. Even Greg Popovich was confused after the game, as he basically said, we didn't play good, it's just they played so bad that it made us look good. And he's 100% right. It was all bad. I knew that the Spurs play like this during an elimination game or at any point during the season for that matter, Popovich would have everyone on that team, including the ball boy, running suicides every second of every hour up until the tip off of the next season, and then they stopped just long enough to play the game before they had to continue running suicide. But all that being said, I am looking forward to seeing a Warriors-San Antonio matchup that we haven't been able to see since the Warriors broke out back in 2015. Well, I can guarantee you something. You will see more effort out of the Wizards as they face elimination Game 6 against Boston tonight than you did from Houston last night. Then again, I did guarantee that Harden would have a good game last night too, but at the same time, in order for the Wizards to try any less than the Rockets, they would all just have to stay home. And speaking of home, this game is at home for Washington, where they are undefeated so far in the postseason. And during the regular season, they were one of the best home teams in the entire league. I mean, they were 30-11 at home, and at some point they had a 15-game home winning streak. So yeah, they know how to take care of business when they're not on the road. And I fully expect them to come out swinging tonight in order to force a Game 7. Look, these two teams don't like each other whatsoever, so there is a lot more at stake here than just an early vacation. You know, they're playing for bragging rights, and it's gonna be a really tough game for Boston to win. We all know the Wizards' game plan is still to lock up Thomas and make the other guys make plays. It worked when they were at home, and in Game 5, it backfired when Avery Bradley went out for a career postseason high at 29 points. But I think that's just something the Wizards are gonna have to live with, because you know, if you let Thomas get going, then it's lights out. And as for the other guys on the Celtics, they haven't been able to prove on a consistent basis that they are ready to carry more of the offensive load. So I think the Wizards roll the dice and do what they have been doing on defense for the past 3 games. If the other guys step up, then hey, more power to them. If not, then we'll be looking at a Game 7 in Boston. And you guys can go vote for who you think is going to win tonight by clicking the little card in the right-hand corner of the video. Yesterday, after Kevin Durant blasted the NBA Draft Combine saying it's pointless for the top draft picks to go to it, I asked you guys whether or not you agreed with him, and just about all of you guys did. KD's comments make complete sense, but coming from a 7-foot freak athlete, I can't take his words too seriously. I agree with KD. When the first in the draft combine is undrafted, you know it's a waste of time. I agree with KD because I feel like you should not and cannot judge a player by his raw physical gifts, because at the end of the day, all that matters is, can you ball or can you not? Yeah, it's pretty clear to see that the combine isn't meant for everyone. For some people, it could be a great time to showcase their natural abilities to the fullest, but I still think it would be best just to see how those abilities translate on the court, which is going to lead us to today's question of the day. What happened to James Harden? What do you think the reason was for him giving a performance like that last night? Let me know what you think down in the comment section below, but other than that, thank you once again for watching the video. Hope you guys did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to leave a like on and subscribe to stay up to date with everything that goes on in the NBA on a daily basis. And until tomorrow, keep getting the buckets, Team SDC, and I'm out of here. Peace!